I found my identity through food that would fuel a drive to dig deep into the history of my Omani and Zanzibari heritage. I now want to meet others and discover their history with them and the recipes that keep them connected to their heritage. Welcome to Dina's Coming Home. Today I'm in Lewisham in the southeast of London to meet a girl I adore. On Instagram, she goes by the name A Lot of Butter, but in person, she is the wonderful Ana Da Costa. Anna is about to teach me how to make one of the first ever Macanese dishes she learned, beef minchi. Now, I know nothing about Macanese culture, so I'm excited to go in, take a deep dive, and learn everything.
Have you seen such a... Should we go? Yes.
The dish that we're going to cook today, please, beef minchi. Tell me a bit about it, and then I can't wait.
Okay. So minchi, the word minchi comes from minced, as you can guess.
And is that the Portuguese word or the?
Actually, it's English. Oh, sorry. Minchi is Macanese, but it comes from the English of minced.
Ah, okay, got it.
A lot of Macanese. So we've got Macanese patois, which I don't speak. There's a few words that I know, but I don't speak. So minchi is one of those words. It's a mix of beef and pork, but today we're just going to do it beef. But there's like 100 of variations of minchi. You can make it with turkey, with chicken, just pork. You can make it with fish. You can make it with mushrooms. It's anything minced essentially. But traditional one would be a meat base, and then it's served with crispy cube potatoes. You can either fry them or roast them or air fry them, and a sunny side up egg.
Nice.
With rice.
Oh, I love it.
Do you feel like you can ever rush this dish? Like if you wanted to make it in a hurry, would you still get that same flavour, or does it?
I think it can, but it's not going to be as flavorful, but there's still a lot of flavour there, so it would still work. Right, so in the marinade we've got light soy, dark soy, sweet soy, ground cumin, bay leaf, MSG and salt.
Wonderful. But also I'm going to assume that the cumin comes from the Portuguese and the India influence of spices.
Yes, absolutely. It's not very used in Chinese cooking, so yeah.
And like, okay, so you've got dark soy and light soy.
Yeah.
Did you say sweet soy?
And sweet soy.
Okay, you need to tell me the difference between having a dark.
You know how you've got like different peppers?
Yeah.
Because they bring different things to the pot, right?
Yeah.
So the light is savory, salty, gives more like that oomph. The dark is usually for color.
Okay.
So when you see something like, I don't know, like beef hor fun, it's like quite dark.
Okay.
Because it gets a bit of, yeah. So it's a mix of both, and then you've got sweet soy just to give it that sweetness. With this, yeah. You can use MSG in anything as long as you know how to use it. But just like salt, you wouldn't put like tons of salt in a dish. You would put a little bit to enhance the flavors of an ingredient.
I love that you're using date sugar as well.
Oh, black pepper.
So I want to deep dive. Take me back to your childhood, where you grew up, where you were born, life.
First of all, Macao is not really a country. It is a city, but it is a special administrative region in China, so like Hong Kong and Taiwan. So it is part of China, but we have our own rules and laws and currency. Macao used to be a Portuguese colony. 1999 did a handover to China, so we used to speak Portuguese and Chinese there. Now is mainly Chinese, but there is still a lot of Portuguese speaking Macanese people in Macau. I was born in Macau. My mum is Chinese, my dad is Portuguese.
How old were you when you left Macau?
18.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So I left Macau when I was a grown woman.
Yeah, you had like the whole life there, like a big part of it.
Yeah. In Macau, a lot of people thought that if you were mixed or if you were Caucasian white, you were slightly more superior. I think it was more of a class thing. Portuguese people tended to have better jobs. So like doctors or like lawyers and stuff like that. But now it's that's changed a lot since the handover. So if you have an Macao ID card, every year you get 1,000 equivalent of £1,000, just for, yeah,
For spending.
yeah. So my dad was born in Portugal. He was already married in Portugal, and then he managed to find himself another wife. Yeah, typical white man that goes to
A foreign
foreign country and then finds another wife, and then they end up moving to Macau. Him and new family. They split up, and then he meets my mum, and they get together.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
This is how you came about.
Yeah.
How wonderful. So you're 18 and you
Yeah.
decide to leave Macau. Where do you go first?
Yeah, London.
You came straight to
Yeah,
London,
straight
not
to
even
London.
to Portugal.
No, so we would go to Portugal every summer for holidays. So Portugal was sort of like my second home. So when I was 18, I was like, cool, I want to do art. I don't want to go to Portugal. I want to go to London. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people say this, but it was like, I thought it was going to be like Harry Potter.
Okay, I didn't think you were going to say that.
Honestly thought it was going to be like Harry Potter, like, you know, like everything like really like old and just grand. And I'm like, I got a black cab from Heathrow to my first flat, and that was in Turnpike Lane back in like 16 years ago, and that was rough. That was rough.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I was like, where am I? Like, this is not like Harry Potter at all.
And how was your English?
It was very American.
Okay,
It was very American English. I was always really shy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I don't want to make any mistakes. Like, people are going to think that I'm like, you know, I'm not educated or da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah. So, but now I don't give a...
And like, we already have we have a lot of Chinese people in England. So it's not like it's something new to see a Chinese person. It's very rare that you see someone from China. But I don't know if there were a lot of people from Macau that came to London. But how did people perceive you?
Well, I think like here, I think because they're used to seeing so many mixed people, I don't think that they kind of look at me and like put me in one specific box.
Yeah.
So they kind of know, oh, she's a bit different.
Was there never any like feeling that you wanted to go back?
Oh, no. I knew, I love Macau.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love the food, but I don't think it's a place for me to live.
Yeah.
And to raise kids. Like, it's a tiny little city with like a lot of people. Rice cooker is cute.
Oh my god, that's actually a really cute rice cooker. Okay, so then coming across to the food and what you do, when did you get into food? And I love that you're talking about food from Macau and your culture, because I've never heard about it until I saw you posting about it. So I'm so excited.
We've always loved food, like our whole entire family. My mum's a very good cook. Then my uncle, he is a chef in Beijing. My half brother used to be a chef. I think eating and cooking, it's very important. It was always a very important thing in our family, and I think it's also a cultural thing. For Chinese people.
So what made you want to actually pursue it as a career?
I think it was always there, but I think it was during lockdown that I lost my job. Turned a lot of food at the time as like a hobby, so it was never like paid. So I started selling XO sauce. I remember like a friend of mine, Pippa, posted it, and literally that same night I had about 200 orders. And I'm like, oh my god, how am I going to do this? And I was like, it's so like
how long does it take to make the sauce?
So one batch would take me 4 hours from start to finish.
Explain XO sauce a bit more.
It's a sauce from Hong Kong, Macau, like Southeast China. It's got dried shrimps, dried scallops, ham, onion, like shallots, garlic, and then you've got chilies and oil and stuff. My mum used to make it for me all the time, and I used to smuggle it back. And all my friends were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! You should sell it. You guys should sell it. You should make it a thing." And I was like, "Okay, cool," but I never really knew how labor intensive it was.
So hold on. So you get this order for 200.
Yeah.
Then you have to fulfill that order.
Yeah. Luckily, I have all the ingredients ready. Like, I just have to make them and jar them.
Yeah.
You know, jar them, label them, and then post them. It's insane.
That's insane. So that's how it all kind of started.
Yeah.
And then you continued like the social media.
And then my friend Jenny from Ling Ling asked me if I wanted to do a collab pop-up, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Give me some background on Macanese food. What is the cuisine? I'm going to assume there's an influence of Portugal in there.
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
Basically, Macanese food is Portuguese food with a lot of Chinese influences, but not just, because of all the spice, the trade routes from Africa, India,
they went everywhere.
Malacca. Then we have a lot of those influences. So there's a lot of piri, there's a lot of curry powder, turmeric, there's coconut milk, there's...
It's crazy. I can't imagine that in China, like in
Chinese cuisine, yeah. And then break it up.
Famous dishes that you would say have come out of Macao?
Macao, so you've got minchi, which we're cooking today. We got minchi, we got pokoke, galinha africana, African chicken. It's basically like a peri-peri chicken marinade, a little bit more Asianified, I guess, like with a lot of like coriander, limes, chili, coconut milk, and then you serve it with like a peanut sauce. So you have a little bit of like the African influences from Mozambique, and then the Malaccan side with a peanut sauce.
So then lastly, because I discovered you through the world of Instagram, why the Instagram handle?
So I've been battling with myself, because a lot of people are like, you know, oh, maybe you should change it to like your name, you know. But I'm like, lots of butter. Like, people were obsessed with coconut oil.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're putting butter on the side. Like, nobody used butter. Like, ever. I was like, coconut oil, healthy oils, and I'm like, no, butter is delicious. like what? Yeah, and I was thinking, you know, like on Instagram, like you have to come up with a name. And it's like, what am I like? What do I like? I was like, I like butter.
Well, thank you so much for having this gorgeous conversation. I'm really happy that I actually learned something about Macao. I'm excited to have the beef minchi.
I'm crying with you. Are you okay?
I'm literally bawling my eyes out.